Hello there, Slamscape here. Today, I want to talk about the newest ship in Elite Dangerous, the long-anticipated Panther Clipper Mk2, currently available for ARCs from the Frontier store in a standard and stellar version. This brand new large freighter comes to us from the manufacturer Zorgon Peterson and marks the first dedicated hauler to join the Elite Dangerous universe since 2018. And what a hauler it is! Let's take a look at what makes the Panther Clipper Mk2 such an impressive transport. The Panther Clipper Mk2 is based on a classic design from the older Elite games. The original Panther Clipper, which was the biggest ship in the game at the time. The Mk2 is still on the large size, though surprisingly it's not the largest. That title still belongs to the Beluga liner. What really stands out about the Panther Mk2 is its cargo capacity. This thing can haul up to 1,238 tons, which absolutely dwarfs the previous top haulers. Honestly, I'd go so far as to say the Panther makes the rest of the big cargo ships completely obsolete. As you'd expect from a ship this size, the handling isn't exactly nimble, but it actually flies better than some of the older heavyweights like the Type 9 and the Cutter. That's likely thanks to the four large, independently vectoring thrusters mounted at the corners of the hull. It also takes better advantage of the newer frameshift drives, Supercruise overcharge mode, which helps smooth out long-range travel. The build I'm going to show off today is a balanced setup, focused on jump range and utility without sacrificing too much cargo space. I'll also include a few links in the description for suggested builds, including open play and a no engineering build for newer commanders that are already wealthy. Feel free to share your builds in the comments, as I'm sure I won't cover them all. An important thing to note is how expensive this build actually is. The base cost of the Panther Clipper is $286 million, and this build runs at $534 million fully outfitted. It's probably a good idea to purchase an outfit at a station with a discount like Jameson Memorial in Shinrarta Desra or Ray Gateway in Dea Gundry. The hardpoints are typically used to mount weapons, and the Panther Clipper Mk2 has space for 4 small, 4 medium, and 2 large weapons, which is a lot of firepower for a cargo hauler. I opt to keep them empty because the weight from equipment would lower the jump range and thruster speed. If you're hauling, the best option is usually to run. The utilities are up to you. I'm running with 2 point defense turrets and 2 E-rated shield boosters engineered with resistance augmented for one and thermal resist for the other, and the super capacitors experimental for both for a little extra shield strength. If you want a little bit more survivability, you can also fit in some A-rated shield boosters engineered with heavy duty and super capacitors. Just be aware you might need a larger power plant depending on how many boosters you want to use. The core internals are where the necessary equipment to run the ship is located, like the power plant, thrusters, life support, etc. While I will be listing engineering suggestions for each module, the important ones to do are the power plant, thrusters, and FSD drive. Full min-maxing isn't as necessary as, say, a combat-focused ship. Also, due to the Panther's high base weight combined with its large cargo capacity weight, the normal weight min-maxing has a lot less of an impact than it does on the older haulers. For instance, skipping the suggested stripped-down experimentals and not lightweighting life support and sensors only cuts your unladen jump range by about 0.4 light years and laden by about 0.1. For the armor, I would suggest running lightweight alloy with heavy-duty engineering and the deep plating experimental. This gives the ship increased armor without affecting the weight, which helps improve the jump range and thrusters. Since we don't have space to mount any hull reinforcements, it's probably a good idea to engineer the armor for extra protection. You could run heavier reinforced or military grade armor, but that would negatively impact your jump range and speed. Next, for the power plant, I run a 5A, engineered with grade 1 overcharged and stripped down as the experimental. This is undersized from class 8, but still gives us plenty of power to run the ship and all its equipment. The reduced weight helps our speed and jump range a bit. For the thrusters, 8A with dirty tuning and drag drives. When full of cargo, this gets us a cruise speed of 265 meters per second and a boost of 368, which is about 70 meters per second better than the Type 9. Unladen is even better, with the ship reaching a cruise of 298 and a boost of 413. This puts the Panther between the Type 9 and Cutter, speed-wise, but obviously while carrying much more cargo. The frameshift drive should be a 7A SCO-enabled version, engineered with increased range and mass manager. This will give us a single unladen jump of 45.93 light-years, and a whopping total range of 469 light-years. Just note, this range includes the boost from a Guardian FSD booster added into our optional internals. The Guardian FSD booster gives a flat bonus regardless of weight, which will especially help the range when crammed full of cargo. Laden jump range is 30.74 for a single jump and a full range of 310 light-years. Without the FSD booster, it's only 23.58. Running the V1 double-engineered SCO version gives a nice bump to 49.48 light-years unladen and 32.82 light-years fully laden. Next, we'll run 5D life support with lightweight engineering. This will help our jump range and thruster speed, although this can be skipped if you're short on materials. For the power distributor, run a 5D with engine focused or charge enhanced and stripped down. This will allow us to boost every 6.9 seconds. Permaboost on the Panther is 6.5 seconds, so it's not that big of a downside. Finally, for sensors, I run with a 5D with lightweight. This also helps our jump range and speed. Again, as with the life support before, this isn't super necessary, only if you want to fully min-max. The optional internals are relatively easy to figure out for cargo trucking ships. We're going to be fitting the largest possible cargo rack in each slot, minus a few select spots. If you just want maximum cargo capacity, just fill every slot with the largest cargo rack available. The Panther Clipper Mk2 includes 2 new, unique dedicated cargo component slots. These dedicated slots only allow the fitting of cargo racks, fuel tanks, or the new Mark II cargo racks, which give 50% increased cargo capacity for that slot. In total, this build can carry 1,152 tons of cargo, despite having shields, FSD booster, a docking computer, and a Super Cruise assist. In the first, Class 8 dedicated cargo slot, fit in a new size 8 Mark II cargo rack, which adds 384 tons. In the Class 8 slot, fit in a standard size 8 cargo rack, which adds 256 tons. The next Class 7 slot, which is another dedicated cargo slot, will fit the size 7 Mark II cargo rack for 192 tons. In the Class 7 slot, a 70 cargo rack for 128 tons. In the first Class 6 slot, I put in a 60 shield generator with reinforced engineering and high cap as the experimental. This gets us just shy of 228 megajoules of raw shield strength, including the shield boosters from the utility mounts, which is just enough to help us survive a few bumps and bruises when flying through the mail slot or for those hard landings. If you want a bit more survivability, you could fit in a 6A or 6A prismatic shield. You will need to bump your power plant up a size though, or add more grades of overcharged. The other 2 Class 6 slots fit in cargo racks to add 64 tons each. In the 2 Class 5 slots, fit in 5E cargo racks for 32 tons each. In the Class 4 slot, I add in a size 4 Guardian FSD booster, which adds a flat 9.25 light years to our jump range, which will make a larger difference when fully loaded with cargo since it's a flat boost. If jump range isn't a concern, you could just fit in a 4E cargo rack to add another 16 tons. In the Class 2 slot, I would suggest an advanced docking computer, although I personally opt for another cargo rack which adds 4 tons. I never use docking assist as demonstrated by the many dents I've left in landing pads over the years. The final Class 1 slot, I put in a Super Cruise assist. This helps on longer runs and lets you do the trick where you fly at your destination, then throw in the Super Cruise assist at the last minute, letting you shave off a few seconds. That wraps up our look at the new Panther Clipper Mk2. Hands down, the new king or queen of cargo haulers. This slaps the ship. Bad boy can carry so much cargo it makes the Type 9 cry itself to sleep. Sure, it comes with a steep price tag, but the ability to haul over 1,000 tons with ease makes it absolutely worth it. And the handling is way better than you'd expect for something this massive. If you're into moving serious freight, the Panther Clipper is a must-have. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future builds and tips. Thank you for watching.